As the embers of episode 2 cool and the ash of burnt letters settles, the Buccaneers sets the stage for all the major players juggling secrets, suppressed desires, and brewing betrayal. Episode 3 is expected to push our characters closer to either liberation or complete implosion. So far, this season has danced elegantly along the edges of chaos, but in Episode 3, we expect more than whispers and veiled glances. We're anticipating confessions, confrontations, and maybe even a scandal too big to ignore. Let's plunge into the delicious possibilities of what might await in the next episode. After Seadown's bombshell disclosure in Episode 2, Thea now knows that Guy was at Tyntacle the night before the wedding. For a man already harboring jealousy and buried betrayal from Season 1, remember that first intercepted letter? This news could be a devastating confirmation of his worst fears. In Episode 3, we may see Theo begin to unravel. Whether he confronts Nan outright or lets the doubt fester is the real question. He's shown signs of being a reasonable man, even standing by Nan after her bold dinner party speech, but reason has limits when love turns to suspicion. If Theo does approach Nan, will she finally confess her past with Guy? Or will she cling to her self-denial in an attempt to preserve a marriage that's barely hanging on? Either way, the emotional volcano is primed for eruption. Lizzie's narrative hook is finally blooming in Episode 3, may bring her to a corner. After burning Guy's letter and witnessing Nan's emotional torment, she seems desperate to step out from behind her friend's dramas and embrace a story of her own. Now caught between two compelling suitors, Hector Robinson, the principled MP, and Theo, who's showing flashes of something softer and more complex, Lizzie may begin to feel the tug of unexpected romance. That stolen moment with Theo and the bracelet was no accident. It might foreshadow a future emotional entanglement. Could Theo, in his grief and anger, turn to Lizzie for comfort? Or will Lizzie finally find a spark with Hector that doesn't require her to dim her own flame? Either way, she's long overdue for a storyline that doesn't revolve around carrying other people's secrets. Back in Italy, Ginny's life seems to have calmed for now. But as we've come to learn, peace in the Buccaneers is fleeting. Guy has created a quiet sanctuary for her and baby Freddie, but Ginny's inner guilt, her longing for home, and her fear of being forgotten still loom large. Now that tabloids have declared her mad and Seadown is stirring the pot in London, we expect Episode 3 to revisit the question. Will Ginny stay or will she go? There's a chance she'll try to slip back to England, either out of guilt or a fierce maternal instinct to reclaim her reputation before it's tarnished beyond repair. But returning could mean walking straight into her husband's trap. If she does reappear, expect shockwaves, and maybe even a legal or public showdown. Let's not overlook the building intimacy between Ginny and Guy. They'd already shared tender moments, and she's shown increasing comfort in his presence. Could Episode 3 test the boundaries of their friendship with something more? Or will the looming ghost of Nan remain between them? If the Buccaneers Season 2 began with whispers of change, Episode 3 may finally turn those whispers into roars. The drama is about corsets, curtsies, and courtships. It's about ownership of identity and the radical act of wanting more in a world that tells women to settle for less. The women of this series are ready to break the rules or be broken by them. So as the curtain rises on the next episode, don't expect gentle dialogue and polite compromise. Expect fire. Because in this world of glittering chandeliers and damning secrets, revolution isn't just coming, it's wearing red. Bring your tea and emotional armor. Episode 3 is likely to shatter more than just hearts.